And as we left Diamond Tech, we arrived at Quantune. We saw the biggest challenge is the affordable QCLs. So let's understand how we can solve the problem with a new startup which is causing a lot of impact in the photonics community. Here with Quantune and one of the co-founders. Thank you very much for having us today.
Thank you for coming here.
So what's Quantune?
We at Quantune Technologies have developed a novel molecular sensor to bring laboratory-grade spectroscopy out of the lab into the field, into the farms, and into the production lines.
Giving us real-time information about what molecules are present by the way they absorb the light. The sensor can be used in every step of the production process to tell you what's going on and to make the process transparent. This way it helps to close the automation gap, let machines communicate with each other, and automate everything from the first step to the last.
Our molecular sensor can be used everywhere. It will change how we think about production, will change how we see production in a very transparent way. But it can also be integrated in other devices. It can change the way we see health. We can, for the first time ever, take this lab device and strap it around our arm, make wearables to give us a direct insight on a molecular level into our body, helping us to go from a reactive healthcare to a proactive healthcare by knowing things about our body in real time that we don't know today.
There are many different QCL makers in the market. What's different in Quantune?
The difference is the wide tunability, which means you can use our module for very many different applications, which means you don't always need a different QCL for a different application.
One of the biggest things that I like when I visit a company is to see how the company operates. What am I looking at?
This is a prototyping setup. This is a die bonder. We develop every step of the process in-house. Once we have it figured out, once we have the recipe down, we outsource it to our partners because for the production, we are actually fabless, but we are in full control of the process.
For many years, I've seen you cooperating with many companies. What are your next upcoming challenges that you would like others to help you solve?
So now we have the system, and now we are actively looking for system integrators that have been working with Raman, for instance, or have been working with near-infrared, and that want to tap into the power of true infrared spectroscopy using Quantune's systems.
In the last years, well, in the last months, in the last weeks, in the last days, you have received lots of recognitions. Lately, the Leibinger Award, and you also had the Luminate recognition. How are these recognitions affecting the impact that Quantune is getting?
We're in the 6th generation of demonstrator and the 1st generation of actual prototype. We have stocked up on components, and now we're working closely together with our power users, people that we do not have to educate on infrared, honing the product, and then rolling it out to the market in a big scale.
One thing that I really like about a company like Quantune, you are of course in the early start of a very successful story. You already have 11 employees, you have very interesting investors. One thing that I would like to know is, what is your preferred future? When we had this interview in about 5 years' time, how does Quantune gonna look like?
We're making the first practical molecular sensor. It's going to be small, it's going to be cost-friendly, and it is practical. We believe that the world has actually been waiting for it, be it step counters or be it illumination. I think these sensors will be by every hospital bed, in every pocket, on every wrist, in every toilet.
I believe the quality of our decisions depends on the knowledge we base them on. Producing better data for better knowledge through all areas of the world will create better decisions, better processes, and a better world.
I don't know what this is. It's a lot of tech controllers, a lot of them. So what is this?
This is where we test samples, but this is also where we test our system for stability, where we do long time process runs, where we do calibration runs, where we test our system for drift, eliminate this drift, where we make all our components work together. And actually, if you look at the industrial Internet of Things, what's it about? It's about smart farming, it's about smart manufacturing, it's about increasing productivity on the planet. So that's basically producing more, but thereby using less resources. Therefore, you need to close certain automation gaps that, for instance, today you have when you send samples out of a batch into a lab. We get the data down to the molecular level, right where you need it.
So it is time to see for the first time a laser in action. We have here a QCL, correct?
Yes, this is a laser of our latest generation, which is currently being characterized, tested for wavelength stability over long periods of time. Even if you're fabless, testing and calibration is the extra mile you have to walk.
And what else? What else do we have here?
So what you see up here, it's electrode mounted epi down for good thermal management.
Without revealing the secret in the sauce here, we consider that you are making a breakthrough not only on the material itself, but a breakthrough in the way that you assemble and you package your QCLs. What can you tell us without revealing your Coca-Cola recipe? What can you tell us that make us even more excited than we already are?
We have an optically stable external cavity. It's not just stable against misalignment, so you can shake it around on your wrist or in your pocket, but that also means it's easy to assemble. And actually the tolerances are larger than the tolerances of modern pick-and-place machines, which means you can do passive pick-and-place assembly, which opens the door to actual mass production and thereby hyperscalability.
Next April, we have the Analytica conference in Munich. I'm very excited about this. This is where all the analytic companies, all the spectroscopy companies, the Thermo Fishers and the Bruckers of the world are going to be there. You're going to be there telling them about your light sources for their equipment. What do you think should be the right message to attract the interest of this pharma industry, of this petrochemical industry, to get them excited about this new wave of affordable QCLs?
This is not a system you have to calibrate for weeks. This is a true infrared system where a one-point calibration works. And for the first time, it's available to integrate in each of your analytical instruments.
When are we going to see this in mobile phones?
Currently working on that in-house and with our investors and with our partners.
More to come. This was Jose Pozo from Berlin. We saw Art Photonics, we saw Diamond Tech, and now we saw Quantune. The entire supply chain, mid-infrared, is getting really exciting. Stay tuned for the coming Optica events. Now, I go for dinner with my Quantune friends. See you soon. Bye-bye. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.